612 ABC Brisbane.
When you picture Queensland's Sunshine Coast, you probably think about the beaches, sunshine, and a place to have a decent holiday. It's not a place where you'd expect to see a 2,000 to 3,000 tonne asphalt plant built next door to some soccer fields and homes. A small community at the Sunshine Coast is today rallying against a council plan to build an asphalt plant smack bang in the middle of their homes. Wayne Knibb is from Dadalaba Progress Association, which is rallying to fight this proposal. Good morning, Wayne.
Good morning.
Where is this area on the Sunshine Coast?
Well, it's actually it's on our main thoroughfare into Maroochydore. It's our boulevard, if you like. It's our entrance to the Sunshine Coast Central. It's on the Maroochydore Road, so everyone who's visiting is going to see this smokestack.
Just how close is this smokestack going to be to homes?
Well, it's in a valley surrounded by thousands of residents. The closest residential address is 700 metres, but the closest people to be impacted are actually our children. The whole Sunshine Coast Central soccer field is actually 500 metres from the smokestack, where about 1,500 kids are playing there. I just want to correct you, though, it's not a 2,000 to 3,000 tonne plant. It's a 200 to 300,000 tonne plant. It's going to operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Well, tell us about some of the effects that you're worried about. I mean, just the sound of an asphalt plant next door doesn't sound appealing. But apart from the aesthetics, what are the reasons for not wanting it built in your area?
It's health. The principle is health for us and our children. The materials coming out of this stack are carcinogenic. There's no question. Now, the proponent, Boral, don't argue about that. They're the same sort of materials you'd get from cigarette smoke. They'll cause cancers. We know that. We know how they cause cancers. We even have epidemiology to show asphalt workers are at high risk for cancers. The issue for the community, where we debate the proponent, Boral, is how much of this toxic material, carcinogenic material, is going to fall on us and our children. They seem to think the winds will sweep it away. The community is saying, no, this is a boxed-in valley here, and right today as we speak, there's no wind movement. We have a temperature inversion. Pollution will concentrate many-fold, hundreds of fold, more times than they say.
When and how did your community first hear about this proposal?
Well, that's a sore point. It was posted on the 22nd of last month as a sign on their property, which is off the highway so people aren't getting there. I understand there's also some obligation to put it in the classifiers, but I didn't see that. The community now have reacted, but it's been a snowball effect. Like only in the last 2 days, we were only up to like 100 submissions. We're now 500 plus counting. People say there's 1,000 that people are counting it. And they said, give us another week, please. We'll have 10,000 of these submissions coming in.
So I guess the question is, if you don't want it so close to where you live, Wayne, not in your backyard, do you have any suggestions on where this plant should go?
I think that's the wrong avenue, not in our backyard. It's not in anyone's backyard. No one is asking for these, neither here or in the States. The health boards in the state are saying you cannot put these near people. They don't belong near people. Our local state politicians are saying the same thing. They don't belong near people. What's happened is really an anomaly of town planning, that we've had our town planners 10 years ago say, here is a spot for heavy industry. Meanwhile, around there were communities, but certainly now they're completely surrounded this spot, heavy industry spot, but only now heavy industry takes up that opportunity. So we've got a town planning issue.
Wayne Knibb, thanks for your time. Wayne Knibb is from the Dadalaba Progress Association, who is fighting to stop this asphalt plant being built near their homes. Mayor of the Sunshine Coast is Bob Abbott. Good morning.
Good morning, Terry. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. Can you tell us why your council is letting this go ahead?
Well, we haven't even considered it yet, Terry. We're not letting anything go ahead anywhere. The current situation we're in, there is an application into the council. It is currently being advertised under the Act, and we will get all those submissions, and certainly good to hear that the community has well and truly got itself involved in this. That's good advice for the council during the deliberations. And then we'll get a report from our staff. Our staff will consider all of the connotations. They will look at all of the issues that have been raised in the submissions. So we'll get secondary advice from other organisations, not just from the submitters or indeed from the applicants, and then they'll report to council.
As you just heard from Wayne Knibb, he says this plant is due to go within 700 metres of homes, and he's also suggested that there'll be school students nearby to it. What is this area zoned industrial?
Well, it's always been zoned industrial as far as I'm aware, for a very long time. And he's right. There's some atrocious planning done in the past that actually created a situation where we have residences being allowed to be built that close to an industrial estate. And we have to wear all that now, and we've got to find a way around it. So I would say that this is an issue that's going to be quite closely followed in the community. It's an issue that the council is going to have to deal with in a clear and open, proper manner.
Okay, I know you can't say a lot more about it because of where the application is, so thanks for your time this morning, Bob.
Terry, it's not about where the application is at all. I'm in a situation where I'm one of the people who have to make a decision on that. The worst thing I can do on behalf of the community is make any sorts of announcements whether I would or wouldn't support this proposal, because I could be perceived as being preempting the situation and being biased in the decision and end up in court and being taken out of the game altogether. So I don't think the people of the Sunshine Coast want that to happen. So we've got to play this to the letter, on the mat at the right time, at the right place, and that's when we get the full report and we get it up in front of council.
Mayor Abbott, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Mayor of the Sunshine Coast, Bob Abbott, and we've received a statement from the company involved, Boral, this morning, and I'll just read parts of it here for you. Regarding the Allens Asphalt Kunda Park project, David Smale, the General Manager of Allens Asphalt, says prior to lodgement of the application with Council, we recognised that it was important to consult with our neighbours to ensure there were no misconceptions. He says we established information signage on the site, a 1800 hotline and an email address, and we provided an information package to our nearest neighbours, which we delivered by hand, and we met with key community members to discuss the proposal. David Smale says we respect and support the rights of the community to voice their opinions and see this as a necessary part of the development approval process, as defined under Integrated Planning Act 1997. Boral says we welcome further discussion with community members and look forward to developing a relationship with our neighbours. That statement just put out by Boral in relation to that asphalt plant on the Sunshine